Too serious. Forget the world for a minute. Before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it. Hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on. Here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, baby.
The 2K Sports Pregame Show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here. And
I miss you too, Ernie.
I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Yeah, me too. And coming right up, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Sacramento Kings. Well, for Sacramento, their first time playing these guys this season. A year ago, going 1-2. They'd like to improve on that this go-around. After a brisk offseason, it's finally upon us, fellas.
What's that?
Opening night.
Oh,
in
tonight's
the
opening
NBA.
night?
Hey,
Oh, those are preseason
games. Shaq, your thoughts on how important it is for a team to get off to a fast start?
Well, early wins gives you confidence.
Oh, do they ever?
Makes you more intimidating to play against.
Does it ever?
I'm so excited. I miss you guys this summer.
Oh, I know. What
I'm
have you
happy
been
to
doing?
be here. I went to China about 59 times.
Yeah.
I went to Cancun 72 times.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the North Pole twice.
Oh, wow.
Wow, how's
so
that?
a pretty uneventful summer for you.
It was bad. I was looking for Santa. I couldn't find him.
Okay, well, you're not supposed to. The fans, the local media, everyone is excited. And I just am excited to be here, start of the season, and you don't want to start slow. You don't want to have any rough patches early on.
What'd you do this summer?
I went fishing.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Catch anything?
Fishing. Yes, I did. I went to Dubai and went deep sea fishing.
Wow, awesome. So you were traveling all over the place? You go deep sea fishing?
What'd you do?
I cut the grass. It was awesome. Oh, that wraps it up. Let's go courtside.
You can hear the roar here in Oklahoma City. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. We've got a Western Conference battle ready to get rolling, and this Oklahoma City crowd wants some love from their Thunder. And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Well, guys, Sacramento Kings coach Dave Yeager started out coaching in the minor leagues. And every year he'd attend NBA training camps, but especially ones with teams that had big roster turnover. He said a coach who's had his team together calls out a drill and everybody does it. But to watch those guys teach and put it all together, that was where you really learn. Kevin?
Thanks, David, and it's clear that Coach Yeager is a details guy, an impressive young coach.
And well, last season for the Kings, they were in the hunt for a good stretch there early on, but kind of fell out of playoff contention and finally decided to pull the trigger and trade DeMarcus Cousins. It marked a major direction change that this team, I think, wanted to make.
And the Cousins deal, Greg, has really been examined, but what is clear is that the Kings wanted to get younger and start rebuilding.
And you can argue if the trade was the right move or not, but management felt it was. The team's thinking was they wanted to change the atmosphere of the locker room, fully committed to bringing in youth and doing things from the ground up.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for Sacramento. Inside, it's Zebo and Cauley Stein. Fox is out there with George Hill. And it's Hield in at the small forward position. Sacramento with the ball. Knocked away. Stolen by George. And it's George finishing it off.
And I just love the aggressiveness from George, just slicing apart the defense with that terrific ability to penetrate.
And here is Fox. Outside Randolph. Pass to Hield. The three. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
And looking back to last season, they won. No, that athletic.
Yeah.
Well, people talk so much about shoot first guy with Westbrook. How about that time finding the open man?
Special thanks to Under Armour for that sweet replay we just saw. Another unleash chaos moment. Shot by Hield, nobody around. Again, Hield missing. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
Well, he's an NBA scoring champion. Westbrook sure has improved his entire offensive repertoire since his days in Westwood.
And both free throws good for Westbrook. Well, Brent, the media and others have commented that while Westbrook is a gifted scorer, he isn't an efficient scorer. What do you think of that?
Well, Russell is surrounded by guys who are still trying to figure out exactly what they are supposed to be in the league. He's not going to wait around for them to figure it out on his watch, and so that's the delicate dance right now for Oklahoma City. Russell Westbrook trying to find a balance between leading the charge and putting a charge in his teammates.
Here's Anthony. Not enough on that one as it misses.
I'd just like to see the defensive effort get better for their ball club. They can't expect guys to miss the mid-range Jays every time.
And the second chance effort by Randolph.
And maybe that'll get them going. They need to find a rhythm.
Well, it took a while for them to earn their first 2 points, but in the NBA, things can happen quickly.
The Kings have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Yep, that one goes in there.
He might not elevate like some of the other guys on the court, but as we've learned, Randolph knows how to get the ball in the basket.
On the wing, Hield. He feeds it to Fox. Passes it to Randolph. Shoots over Adams. Randolph can't hit.
And defensively, moving his feet there, staying right on top of the shooter.
Some defenses are okay with giving up the mid-range shot. In this case, they contested.
And right in the teeth of the defense, making a statement early in this one.
Yeah, pinpointing the rim protection with that attack, and no one makes enough of an effort there to stop him.
Hill against Westbrook. There's the double team with Westbrook. And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams. That's his first foul. First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. Hield from outside. And the three ball is good. Hield's got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, Hield can make a living out there from behind the arc. Doesn't need a lot of room to get his shot off, and he drains that one with ease.
Hill dishes to Cauley Stein.
And one of the side effects of the Cousins trade was it did open up more playing time for Willie Cauley-Stein. I mean, immediately he was able to step in and fill those minutes and became a much larger part of their offense.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the Sacramento Kings get called for the foul.
So we know how explosive Westbrook can be. He just forces defenses to foul him.
Hey, Greg, when Cauley-Stein got those extra minutes after the Cousins deal, you could see a change in his play. Much more aggressive, much more confident.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it just takes a clear path to minutes to change a player. Cauley-Stein had been getting better and better before the trade. Having the team believe he could step in was a huge boost in his confidence and his play.
Ball's knocked loose, and it's the Kings with the ball. Dishes to Fox. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. Russell Westbrook, number 1.
And he's not going to forget that season anytime soon. And it's safe to say neither will anyone who watched him.
And so here's Sacramento. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Sacramento again missing. And now the fast break. George with the ball. Good. Oberson's got his first 2 points.
That's where Robertson's length comes into play. It helps him get through contact to be available to score.
Hill kicks to Heald. Over George. Heald can't hit.
Got to get out his compass and just try to find himself right now and get himself going.
Cauley-Stein grabs the board. The Kings trail by 6. Kicks it to Fox. Knocks it loose. Heald the pass to Fox. Red ball movement here by the Kings. Hill has the open look. Again missing Hill. The Thunder have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Offensive rebound. Adams. Banked in off the glass.
Adams, such a physical presence out there on the glass. This is how he gets a lot of his points.
Hill dishes to Fox. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams.
And taking a look here at some numbers for Russell Westbrook. Last season, he played outstanding. He was around 31 points per, 10 assists and 10 rebounds. And he led the charge when it came to scoring, led the team.
Yeah, he shot the lights out all year long from a variety of spots on the floor. Love that versatility.
Patterson, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And then for Sacramento, Kufis checked in for Randall. Bogdanovich comes in for Fox. And it's Mason in for Hill.
In this first period, they've been aggressive and extremely focused.
I don't think you ever expect to carve out such a big lead early on in a game like this, but let's see if they can maintain momentum.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first. We know the importance of ball movement, Brent, but when the offense bogs down, someone needs to get it done in isolation. Could you pick anybody who you would go to?
Yes, Kevin. He plays in Cleveland.
Yes.
Or the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers.
And his name is LeBron James.
Ah, yes.
Have you seen him play?
James.
Yeah, I'll take that guy.
Okay, that's a good guy. that's a real good guy. For the Thunder, Arenas is checked in for Andre Robertson. And Chris Dunn's subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And then for Sacramento, Scal Labissière's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. And it's Carter in for Buddy Hield. Carter with it. George picks him up. That's tipped. Stolen by George. And Adams kicks to Arenas. Makes it off the glass.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Mason with it. Poked away. Feeds it to Labissière. And the call will be against Alex Arenas. That's his first foul. Here is Mason. Pass to Kufis. Shot clock at 6. Stolen.
And that's a couple of very shaky possessions in a row. One turnover right after the other.
You got to close up any lane to the basket, because if you don't, Steven Adams is coming hard with a vicious dunk.
Here is Mason following the score by Oklahoma City. To the paint. It's tipped. And here we go with Adams running it up the court. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Love their strategy, and they've been able to execute on it, building a huge lead.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Steven Adams brings a lot to the team, Brent. Got a chance to be more involved, in fact, with the offense after Durant left.
Well, he's not a wispy 7-footer, Kevin. Thick and rugged out there on the floor and willing to set a lot of screens to free up Russell Westbrook. One of the things I'd like to see them do is maybe explore him in the post a little more often as an offensive threat. I think he's capable down there.
Brent, we know the regular season is a grind. We also know that revenue is king. Could you imagine a time when we'd actually have to play more than 82 games?
That's interesting, Kevin, because a lot of the times the argument you've heard over the course of the past 5 or 6 seasons, Kevin, is the opposite of that 65-game schedule. Why not reduce the schedule? Stars playing in every game, less back-to-backs, more time for recovery. So the idea of 82 games being extended beyond that, I don't think that that's in the realm of possibility.
65, 68 games, and they had that shortened season a couple years ago. It was terrific to watch.
It was, and so we'll see if the league does that. But in your question alone, Kevin, you said it. Cash is king. 82 is the number we're going to settle in, I think, for quite some time.
Mason kicks to Bogdanovich. Sinks the three-pointer. Bogdanovich has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Here's Patterson. Carter pulls it in.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
77% shooter at the line a season ago. Those are better than average numbers.
And that one falls for Carter.
Yeah, Carter, just a freak of nature, one of the best dunkers the game has ever seen, a top-tier shooting guard who just embraces the spotlight.
And Brent, when you hear Donovan on the sideline or in the huddle, it's clear how big a motivator he can be for his team. He certainly gets the most out of his players from the stars to the end of the bench.
One thing that Billy Donovan did in the early part of taking the job with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I remember it well, Kevin, I went to the UCLA campus where Billy Donovan had invited most of the roster for the Oklahoma City team, and he started to establish that trust in the offseason, being there for workouts, understanding the personalities of his team, and getting to know his guys. All of those things have reaped some incredible rewards in the early part of Billy Donovan's coaching career.
Here is Mason. It's stolen by Adams. The pass to Kristen. The feed now to Patterson. And the shot is good. And the Thunder lead by 14.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. And George with the stuff.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing, the passion that they're playing with up and down the floor.
Poke loose. Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession. And where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the Kings.
And even when the deep three has been there, they've stayed away from it. They're working hard to get shots from close range, resisting that urge to get too loose with their shot selection.
The Kings trail by 16. Mason, the pass to Labissiere. Bogdanovich sets the pick for Labissiere. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. With a break in the action, let's show you the teams with the most second chance points last year. 5th on the list, the Thunder.
This was a team that was really savvy when it came to getting position under the boards and then getting those offensive putbacks.
Got a piece of it. And George kicks to Abrinas, and the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Grant, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Sacramento also making some changes. Giles comes in for Labissiere, and Garrett Temple subbed in for Vince Carter. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession.
And here's a look at some stats for Temple. Some last season stats for him. Last season, put up about 7 points a game, 2 assists and 3 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent, but honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
Patterson can't get it to go. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Patterson bringing the double. Temple dishes to Kufis. And it's Giles missing.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
There's the dish to Temple. Here's Bogdanovich. That one's off, still out of sync. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Missed inside. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Oklahoma City. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And Russell Westbrook, a guy who has faced some criticism, also a guy who is extremely critical of himself.
It's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out, to know when to score, to know when to pass, to know when to be aggressive, to know when to slow down. It can be tough at times because I want to do so well, and I want my teammates to do so well, and I want to win so bad.
Well, you have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates, too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a very convincing performance from the Thunder so far.
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Such a great way to get yourself into an offensive groove and build up some early confidence.
On the court for Sacramento, they've got Jackson. Giles is out there with Garrett Temple. Then there's Kufis, and it's Bogdanovich in at the point guard position. The Kings making a switch here. Fox is checked in. And a bit of a bittersweet question for you, Brent. We know you spent so many years with the Sonics who eventually were uprooted and became this Thunder team. How badly would you like to see Seattle get a basketball team again?
I think it's the NBA's mission to get back to Seattle. And under Adam Silver, he's asked questions about the return to the Emerald City. And I think it's going to happen, Kevin. If it does, I'd love to be a part of what the organization does up there. I do miss the PNW. That's the Pacific Northwest.
And here are the Kings now. He kicks to Jackson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. When the Kings struggled last season, Greg, they did so because they just couldn't get stops in the defensive end.
And defense, something that this team will struggle with at times. A lot of it is they don't protect the rim or close out, particularly on that 3-point shot. And so much of defense just boils down to challenging shooters whenever you can. It's about giving more effort on that side of the ball. Yeah, instinctively, too. Fox there looking to be a ball mover, a facilitator. And that's one reason why his team is playing well. And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, when your opponent's down and frustrated, this is when you could turn it up.
Now, here's Kufis. Pass to Temple. From beyond the arc. The rebound by Patterson. The Thunder leading by 19. Westbrook with it. Now guarded by Fox. The offensive rebound. Anthony. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. And beyond his ability to shine on the basketball floor, you have to commend Carmelo Anthony's effort, Greg, to get NBA players and other athletes more involved in making the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but guys like Melo see what is beyond the world of basketball. He's spoken out as well as done the legwork of being active in his communities, and a lot of charity work for Melo. It's just nice to see the maturation process play out. And one thing they'll discuss are the defensive rotations. The other is in the matchups.
We're seeing very little help defense on the inside, and even when there is help, it's been ineffective.
Some changes for Sacramento. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Kupis. Heald comes in for Garrett Temple. And it's Hill in for Jackson. Now, here's Fox. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Down low, and stolen by Patterson. Here's Anthony. And the dunk by Grant.
And Grant's playing with a great edge on the defensive end. Looks to poke that one away, and he comes up with a steal.
Hill passes to Fox. There's the double team with Westbrook. The kick out to Hill. Lets the three fly. That shot missing. And the Thunder going the other way now. Passes it to Patterson. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Takes the 13-footer, and the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his first foul. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Patterson. Sacramento making a switch here. Randolph is checked in. Hill kicks to Randolph. Cauley Stein with it. Now defended by Grant. And once again off the mark by Sacramento.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat. No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Here's Randolph. And just miss after miss right now.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Anthony's shot is off. For Sacramento, they've gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. It's stolen by Anthony. Grant, right side, expanding his range. And it's Fox with the rebound. Sacramento's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Here's Cauley Stein. Softly drops in the floater.
And Fox is a solid passer. Knows how to get the ball to his guys when they're ready to let it go.
And that one drops for him. 8 points for Russell Westbrook.
Up by a bunch. He's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
Well, collectively, they've done it tonight here. A passionate performance from the squad.
Here's Hill. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Hill's got his first points in this one. Brent, when you played, you were able to score in a variety of ways. Which do you think you were better at, shooting off the catch or off the dribble?
There's no doubt that shooting off the catch, Kevin, was much easier for me. I love the fact that I could get my feet set, start to anticipate when the ball was coming, who the ball was coming from, and then establish my own rhythm for each of those opportunities to cast away at the rim.
I would think, though, you'd get rhythm by working off the dribble, too.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be able to do that, but I oftentimes use that dribble to maybe create another opportunity for a teammate. And then the other idea, Kevin, is if you're a great catch-and-shoot player, the pump fake and one dribble in, that's something you have to perfect to keep the defense honest in terms of their closeouts.
The Thunder have gone 8 of 14 in the second quarter on field goal attempts. And it's Westbrook missing. Kings have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. There's the double team with Grant. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook.
Well, a chance here to check out Carmelo Anthony. He had a strong showing last season. He averaged 22 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Just solid all-around performances we've been seeing from him, delivering night in and night out.
And I like it when stars do exactly that. It's not just about scoring 50 or 40 or 30. It's about making plays consistently.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Taken away by Anthony. It's deflected, and he gets it back. Here's Roberson. Goes up again. Cauley Stein grabs the board. Cauley Stein's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Heald. Here's Carter. A stupendous finish in traffic.
A huge mistake, letting him establish that kind of position down low.
Yeah, defense 101. Don't let him get that deep, and this speaks to the lack of effort right there. No better way to frustrate your coach.
Now here is Carter. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. That's tipped. Paul George with the steal. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession.
And
let's see some of the numbers here for Paul George. He's coming off an excellent season. 5th for free throw shooting, 14th in steals, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And yeah, he was money from the charity stripe. Only a handful of players shot a better percentage last season. Tremendous asset.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Knocked loose. Anthony against Randolph. Misses off the right iron.
That was some very intimidating, aggressive defense that really helped alter that shot.
Oh, come on. And George just has that extra gear. Well, once he kicks into it, he is nearly impossible to stop.
Sacramento's gotten half their shots from three-point range to go down in the second quarter. 3 of 6 from downtown. 1:56 left in the first half, and here they come. Here's Kristen. And now it's a look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the NBA's best fast break teams from a season ago. In third, the Thunder.
I mean, it's a crowd-pleasing style, right? I mean, this club just got out and ran at every possible chance.
First one falls for him.
Well, for the Thunder last season, the first one in the AD era, that stands for after Durant, you can imagine just how devastating his departure was for the fans of the franchise, but I think Sam Presti, as the general manager, prepared themselves for Kevin Durant leaving and for Russell Westbrook to assume the reins of the team.
Ball stolen. Out of bounds. Sacramento will take possession. Labissiere, the screen. On defense, the Thunder. For Sacramento, they have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line, so that's a nice all-around effort.
And so he hits both. The Thunder shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Yeah, you see the athleticism George had on that dunk. It's so quick and explosive. Gets to the rim in an instant.
For Sacramento, they've gone 6 of 12 in the second quarter, right at the 50% mark from the field. And with OKC, as long as this team has been in this city, they have known success as a franchise.
Part of the fear that losing KD in free agency was that the success was going to go with them. But on the shoulders of Russell Westbrook having an historic NBA season, averaging a triple-double, Billy Donovan got these guys to play pretty hard, ended up being in the playoffs, and now have young guys that maybe could show some potential to maintain a level of success this fan base is used to.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. Jackson, he's checked in for Sacramento. Let's go. And no good, trying to use the glass.
Pretty surprised he missed that shot. The defense was decent, but not really a factor.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Mason kicks to Labissiere. He dishes it to Jackson. Back to Labissiere, all alone. Offensive rebound, and it's Kufus missing. Here's Oklahoma City now. They're on a 14-4 run right now. And Anthony gets it to go.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Knocks it loose. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Anthony. No one near Labissiere as he lets it go. Drops in the tray. Labissiere's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Carmelo really has great footwork down low, showing off the feel right there when he gets near the paint.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder out there all by themselves with a 32-point lead to end the quarter. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Dave Yeager. Coach, what is going to be the focus offensively going into the second half?
Well, we try to go inside. That's our strength anyways. And for us, our bread is buttered inside. So we try to play high-low. And then if the threes come out of that, great. But we want to try to get everything to the rim.
Coach, it all starts with that entry pass to the big, and then everybody plays off of him. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. A stellar first half for Carmelo Anthony. He had 18 points, 4 steals, and 5 rebounds. His last game out, he was just not himself. But tonight, he has rounded right back into form with a very solid first half. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
The thing about Carmelo is he plays with a superstar mindset. There's nothing he feels he can't do, especially on the offensive end. And in the first half, he was right. Displayed every move in the book. Heat check after heat check, it became obvious he wasn't cooling down.
Shaq, what's your take on Sacramento?
Well, one reason they're getting roasted, a.k.a. blown out, poor rebounding. Way too many one-and-done possessions. I don't want to see guys dribble between their legs and shoot. Not enough fundamentals. Hey, box out 101. Maintain position 101. Learn how to play basketball 101. Things like that, Ernie.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but anything can happen. Carmelo Anthony really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Yeah, and through 2 quarters, he's been lights out. And he's going to look to add to those totals.
And defensively, hard to force him out of the rhythm at this point because he has a number of ways with which he can beat you.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. Sacramento's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight, just a little over 40%. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Anthony is out there with Steven Adams. And it's George in at the 3, the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. The Kings have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
They call it old school. That's what it is when you watch Zach Randolph play the game of basketball. He's got such great skill and touch around the basket. We call it the old man game, and I tell you what, he gets it done every night.
Hill left side. He feeds it to Randolph. Over Anthony. Nice spin off the left rim and in. That's now 8 points for Zach Randolph.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10 on difficulty, that's an 11.
Robertson can't hit.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
Knocked loose. Stolen by George. They're running. And it's Westbrook. That time on the assist from Robertson. Westbrook's got 10 points.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
Fox dishes to Cauley-Stein. Adams brings the double team. Here's Hill. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And the Pacers trading away the coveted George Hill. Going into last season, they wanted more of a passer at the point guard position.
And that's the one thing about Hill. He's more of a combo guard than a true point. He keeps his turnovers low. But as far as creating a ton of shots for his teammates, that's not really his game.
Here's Anthony. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside,
and go strong to the rim. Hill kicks to Hield. Fires for three. Sacramento again missing.
It's just been an off night for him. That doesn't happen all that often, but the thing that you do at this point is not to push it, not to rush it. Let it come back to you.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Here's Hill. Paul George making his last shot. Again, Hield missing.
Yeah, they got to hope to turn it on soon. 1 of 4 so far, and they know they got to be better.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. It's going to go on Willie Cauley-Stein.
Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
They double-team Randolph. They get the rebound, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. They get Russell Westbrook.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
The Kings have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12.
Randolph was an Indiana State champion coming out of high school, so you know the pressure of the NBA doesn't bother him. There's nothing more intense than that when you talk about that Indiana high school tournament.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Grant's checked in. Sacramento again missing. And to many, the Thunder came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a 2-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go.
Patterson, he's checked in for the Thunder. And a change for Sacramento. Giles is checked in. Hield from outside. The rebound by Grant. Grant's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
I don't know what happened there. That was an easy 2 points that he just threw away.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Dishes it to Fox. There's the double team with Westbrook. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Pick up by Hill. Pass to Giles. 5 on the clock. Hield hits from the high post. Hield's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And you love how Hield is always ready with his feet set. Once the ball hits his hands, it's off.
Pulls up and good as it just snugs right down through the net. The Thunder have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the 3rd. And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
A baseline J, and they call over the back here. Too much contact.
And you can live with those over-the-back calls sometimes because at least it's an effort play.
Trying to extend the possession so you appreciate the effort. Better just to head down the court sometimes and not give up a team foul in that situation.
Both free throws good from Hill. We see it so often. A player will languish in one system, then flourish in another. Brent, during your 14-year career, which coach's system fit you the best, you think?
Well, I think my years in Seattle, we opened up the offense a little bit. I had the opportunity to play more of a point off guard. But I also enjoyed the structure of what Greg Popovich's system in San Antonio offered up as well. It's always interesting, Kevin, with players who are languishing on benches for other ball clubs, how general managers start to assess whether that guy can be part of something great if they were to bring him in. I had the opportunity to play for a lot of great coaches and thought that I mixed up my game enough to make it a long career.
Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
And hustle paying off there for George in the open court. Gets up court in a flash and finishes before the D can even react.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. And then George with the jam.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
Healed with the bucket.
Yeah, you would think a coach might have talked to his defense about making the adjustment on him, but right now, he's just lighting him up.
Westbrook with the bucket.
And that's just shaking my head moments right there. Westbrook, as fast as he is, can stop on a dime, rise up, and the defender's helpless.
Now, here's Fox. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy.
And until someone stops him, he's just going to continue to keep firing from distance.
Yeah, we got to be a DEFCON 1 here, because at this point, he is so dialed in, you got to get him off his spots.
Cauley-Stein with it. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Stolen by Westbrook. And now a fast break for the Thunder. And he gets the bucket. Patterson's got 9 points.
Well, the anticipation for steals that Westbrook shows, I mean, maybe playing point guard paying off on the defensive end to help create that fast break.
Now, here's Fox. And Cauley-Stein has it in the corner. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Patterson. The shot will not fall. Excellent D there from Hill. Now Hill. 16 points for him. Patterson bringing the double. And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And a chance now to review the shot chart for Sacramento.
And this is an overall excellent offensive performance for him. He's not afraid to take the tough shots. He's getting open, working within the flow of the offense. Heck, he's been the flow of this offense, and he's having a great night so far.
Westbrook against Hill. Over Hill. A rebound by Carter. The Kings have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel.
And looking now at some numbers for Hill. A very nice season for him last year. Last season put up about 17 points per, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
I think you look across the board right now, and he's just doing a much better job. The numbers bear that out.
And the Kings, for so long, had not been active in free agency. You have to like the moves this organization has made to bring in some vets in the offseason. Randolph and Hill bring a lot of experience and leadership to the locker room.
Here's Temple. He's covered by Grant. Poked loose. Westbrook with the steal. And the dunk by Grant.
Well, he is a straight line driver. Jeremy Grant right to the rim.
And for Sacramento, their shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. It's back to Hill. Cauley-Stein with a screen on Patterson. Stolen by Grant. Kicks it to Westbrook. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. There's 57 seconds left in the third. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. The 2K leaderboard provides us now with this list of last season's assist leaders. Russell Westbrook third.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
Here's Giles. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. 5 to shoot. Hill, no good. The Thunder shooting approximately 43% in the third quarter. Lots of room. And the shot falls short this time. And for Sacramento, they're shooting a troubling 38% in the third. Not the finest work of this offense. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. They get a hand on it. And Grant with the clear path to the hoop. And the dunk by Grant.
Well, seeing Jeremy Grant at his size getting out on the break in full sprint, collecting and finishing.
And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. First free throw is good. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Inside, and he uses the glass on the layup. Grant's got 6 here in this quarter.
Well, when he gets into the paint, Kevin, he starts to get hungry. He goes right through the defense. He's a straight line guy.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. It's the Thunder running away with it. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
Exert yourself by being disciplined and focused on the right stuff. All right, good job. Let's go now.
Words of praise from Billy Donovan, asking them to stay locked in, make good choices.
Yeah, and when all 5 of these guys are on the same page, great things tend to happen. So let's see if that continues.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. And a look at the 5 for the Kings to start the fourth. Mason is out there with Jackson. Then it's Garrett Temple. Then it's Labissiere. And it's Kufis in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Jackson. They set the pick. Mason kicks to Jackson. Puts up a 3. Offensive rebound. Up again. Great positioning on the putback.
Love how Labissiere hustles for these rebounds, giving every ounce of energy he has for his team. Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
For Sacramento, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Mason kicks to Labissiere. Kufis. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Grant's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Collison. Hey, Brent, we've seen a number of super teams created via free agency or trade. Do you think that's good for the league?
I think it's great for the league. I think it's awesome to see some of the great players play on the same court together and some of the chemistry that creates. But what's been interesting over the course of the last couple seasons, Kevin, is that we've had these young marquee players stepping up in environments and with organizations now that are must-see TV. So aside from the super teams, there are young players carrying their team to hopefully greater and greater heights that keep you interested in all 30 teams in the league.
Got freed up. Nice work off the pick.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
No question, it looks like they've rented out room along the perimeter in this ball game, and they're likely to keep doing this until the defense makes an adjustment.
Sacramento with the ball. The Thunder making the shot. Mason kicks to Kufis. Feeds it to Temple. Labissiere, the screen. Shot clock at 6. A nice shot by Kufis.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
And the basket is good.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
There's the pass to Labissiere. Mason with it. Picked up by Collison. Outside Jackson. The tray. Goes back up. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
And Labissiere has tremendous concentration, getting the shot to go even with the contact.
Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Garrett Temple. Brent, is an era of shorter player contracts, sometimes with opt-outs after 1 or 2 years. Does that breed too much of a win-now mentality among teams?
Oh, so shorter contracts, Kevin, but taller players?
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Okay, all right. It's interesting the way that teams want to set themselves up. Obviously, if you have a bona fide star, you want to do what you can to lock him up and have him as part of your organization and the concrete and the foundation for what you do moving forward. But a lot of guys certainly on the move and on loan for seasons where they want to take a shot at the true contenders.
Here is Mason. The Thunder making the shot. Knocked away. He's all alone. Here's Abrinas. Throws down the breakaway jam.
You have two things working here, the turnover and then the excellent finish.
And good job of transitioning end to end there. There was no hesitation.
And so here's Sacramento, following the score by Oklahoma City. Labissiere, the screen. Here's Mason. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Out of bounds, Sacramento takes possession. Sacramento making a switch here. Randolph is checked in. The Kings have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth. 4 of 9. Here's Mason. He doesn't hit that one. And the Thunder going the other way now. Collison, the pass to Eustis, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
That's some good interior passing, and that's how you move it on the inside.
Sacramento's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Mason kicks to Jackson. There's the feed to Randolph. There's a screen. Jackson with it. Now defended by Grant. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots a 3. Kristen with the rebound. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. NBA official, NBA referee, Brent, has to be one of the toughest jobs in the world. There's been a lot of talk about adding an official to the court. Would that make a difference?
You know, I'm thinking, Kevin, that's like asking 4 of my buddies to add a 5th guy to go out and they're all single. That means there's another guy I got to compete with. So maybe we don't have another set of eyes on the NBA game. Lots of physicality, lots of pushing and shoving. You may see more foul calling, which will slow down the tempo and the rhythm of the game. I'm not sure that's the best idea for the league.
So then adding the Secaucus and the extra eyes in New York to look at calls, I think that might take the place of adding the official.
I think the league has done a great job, Kevin, having Secaucus now have the ability to make some of those calls to help speed up what we do with regards to the replay.
Knocks it loose. Stolen by Grant. Here's Eustis. Second shot opportunity. Grant, that's good. Grant's got 10 points here in the second half.
And what a turnaround from the first half. I mean, he's been incredible here in the second half.
Here's Mason. And it's off the back rim, no good.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers. Ooh. Okay.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal, and then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
This year, kicks to Bogdanovich. Sacramento moving it around. Clock at 6. Tipped away. And it'll be Sacramento as it goes out of bounds. The Kings retain possession. And the Thunder making a change here. Patterson's checked in. Carter, he's checked in for Sacramento. Two on the clock. Mason for 3. It's good from long range.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, not a bad time to be ripping the nets from distance, piling up some major points here.
Here's Kristen. Good, and the assist goes to Collison.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
They've also taken care of some of the details in this game, and that's why they're ahead.
Mason dishes to Carter. That 3 off the mark. Here's Oklahoma City. They're on a 14-6 run. Collison, no good. Sacramento's gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the fourth and been successful 3 times. It's taken away by Collison. And Collison with a clear path to the hoop.
Out quickly, then the beautiful execution. You can't do it any better.
Well, there's running the floor, and then there's running the floor with purpose, and I love the energy on this play.
Stolen by Collison. From deep three-point range, the rebound by Mason. The Kings shooting 40% in the fourth. Now the dish to Randolph. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Patterson. Here's Abrinas. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. And here is Mason. 1:51 left in the fourth quarter. Outside, Randolph deflects the pass, and so the ball out of bounds. Collison touched it last.
Just active defensively here, being extremely disruptive.
Like the aggressiveness and a great effort just to get a hand on it.
Garrett Temple has checked in for Sacramento. Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. They're ahead by 49. And there's a minute 45 left in the game. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
And he had to be the pick, no doubt. He's had an astonishing number of steals. He's kind of been a thorn in their side all game, just clogging up passing lanes and playing really tight D on the ball.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Jeremy Grant. The Kings also at the sub. Giles checked in for Labissiere. Mason kicks to Randolph. To the middle, here's Giles, and the layup's good off the glass.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Here's Felton. Rebound by the Kings. Randolph's got 6 rebounds in the game.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Oklahoma City.
A few times this season, turnovers have cost them, but they really kept the ball under control.
They were both focused and relentless.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Paul George.
And so many times on the defensive end showed off those quick mitts. Jumped all over the opposition and swiped the ball away a number of times.
Labissiere's checked in for Zach Randolph. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Over the decades, the way the league has grown, phenomenal. Due in no small part to the leadership. Brent, what are some of the key traits you've seen of these two great NBA commissioners?
I think the one thing about both David Stern and Adam Silver that they have done a great job with is that they're approachable. There doesn't seem to be a time, at least in an NBA player's career, where they don't feel like they could either call the office and within maybe a day or two hear from somebody from the league office. But the fact that both David Stern and Adam Silver find their way out to arenas throughout the regular season, come to see every team, that approachability, I think, far and away sets those two gentlemen aside.
And stolen by Patterson. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Felton kicks to Collison. And finished off by Collison.
And this is how you close out a game, not taking any chances.
Yeah, you gotta be relentless in this game or the tide can turn on you. Not here, not tonight.
And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
Poor decision making there. No idea what he's going for with that kind of pass in that situation.
We've got 13 seconds left in the game. Shoots from 14. Again, Oklahoma City.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much. Well, it looked like everybody was having fun, but it looked like you were really feeling it. Did you get into a flow out there?
I did. I got hot. I was looking for the ball, looking to make plays, and shots was falling.
I know you expect that to happen every night, and it did tonight. Thanks, Paul. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. So long and good night, everyone.